In February 2026, an event captured global attention. Iran launched a Mach 5 ballistic missile at the USS Abraham Lincoln carrier strike group, leaving the world in shock. All the media reported that the American aircraft carrier had been attacked and destroyed, but the truth was not like that. Things were not as people imagined. Although Iran claimed to have destroyed the USS Lincoln, the reality was completely different. This aircraft carrier not only avoided the missile, but also rendered the threat meaningless. The ship remained intact, while the Mach 5 missile could do nothing. So the question arises, how could the US dodge a direct attack from a Mach 5 missile? The answer lies in a special weapon, the B-2 Spirit. The B-2 Spirit isn't just a stealth strategic bomber, it's also an invaluable strategic tool in the US arsenal, especially in confrontations with opponents that have strong air defense systems like Iran. Built to penetrate areas with dense air defenses without being detected, the B-2 Spirit is a clear testament to the superior power of stealth technology, allowing the US to carry out precise and effective strikes even against modern air defense setups. One of the key factors that makes the B-2 Spirit an outstanding strategic weapon is its unique stealth design. With its delta wings and rounded structure, the B-2 not only minimizes radar reflection, but also optimizes its ability to evade modern surveillance systems. This design allows the aircraft to easily slip past Iran's radars, which are known to be powerful and capable of detecting fast-moving targets. In addition to its distinctive aerodynamic structure, the B-2 is coated with special materials that can absorb radar waves, helping reduce the chances of being detected by enemy radar stations. This gives the B-2 a significant advantage when entering high-risk areas without worrying about being detected by radar. The B-2 Spirit isn't just good at avoiding radar, it's also extremely effective at striking strategic targets from afar. The plane is equipped with the most advanced navigation systems, allowing it to hit targets even when space and time don't allow for perfect accuracy. The missiles and bombs the B-2 uses come with GPS and inertial guidance systems, letting it precisely strike Iranian military facilities from a long distance without being detected. Weapons like the GBU-31 JDAM smart bombs or AGM-158 JASSM missiles can hit targets with pinpoint accuracy, even in harsh weather conditions or when there's no clear GPS signal. That's why the B-2 can make all of Iran's air defense systems basically useless. Its ability to strike accurately from far away makes targets easy to take out without having to go deep into enemy air defense zones. Besides its stealth capabilities, the B-2 is also equipped to fly at very high altitudes. When flying above 10,000 meters, the plane can avoid most threats from air defense missiles and Iran's mobile air defense systems. This high-altitude capability allows the B-2 to carry out surprise attacks on Iran's strategic targets, like military installations, weapons depots, and command centers, without facing significant opposition. This allows the US to maintain a strategic advantage without having to enter dangerous areas like the Strait of Hormuz, where American aircraft carriers would face threats from Iran's ballistic and hypersonic missiles. Being able to strike from a long distance and at high altitude helps minimize the risk of being attacked, keeping both the fleet and other forces in the area safe. The B-2 Spirit is not just an ordinary fighter jet. With its stealth capability, high-altitude flight, and long-range precision strikes, the B-2 has completely changed the way combat is conducted in heavily defended airspace. In a scenario confronting Iran, the strategic tactics using the B-2 allow the US to carry out attacks effectively and with minimal risk. Instead of having to deploy aircraft carriers into the dangerous Strait of Hormuz, the US can use the B-2 to strike Iran's strategic targets from a long distance, reducing the risk of direct conflict. Using the B-2 Spirit in warfare is the perfect combination of stealth technology, precision strike capability, and safe altitude flight tactics. With this capability, how has the B-2 Spirit managed to defeat Iran without having to penetrate too deeply into their airspace? Although US aircraft carriers have the capability to launch strong fighter operations, they are facing difficulties in military strategy due to the threat from Iran's advanced air defense systems. The Strait of Hormuz, a crucial sea route, is where carriers face the risk of ballistic missiles, hypersonic missiles, and Iran's long-range radar. This area also has many torpedo and mobile anti-ship missile systems, increasing the risk when moving carriers through it. Moreover, operating freely in the Strait of Hormuz could lead to the danger of surprise attacks from multiple directions, reducing the combat effectiveness of the carrier. In this context, The US has turned to using the B-2 Spirit as an important part of the new military strategy. The B-2 aircraft, with its superior stealth capabilities, can carry out precise attacks without having to move aircraft carriers into dangerous zones. Using the B-2 doesn't just reduce risks from missiles and anti-ship weapons, it also helps keep aircraft carriers and other forces in the area safe from direct threats. Because it can fly high and hit targets accurately from far away, the B-2 can take out key targets without even entering Iranian airspace. The change in US military strategy shows a move toward asymmetric warfare, especially when dealing with Iran. The B-2 Spirit, with its stealth and long-range strike abilities, plays a key role in keeping the upper hand without having to operate directly in the Strait of Hormuz. It not only boosts combat effectiveness, but also cuts down on potential failures when used with monitoring systems like AWACS, letting the US spot targets from a distance and hit them precisely. This lets the US make the most of its resources and lowers risks during military operations. So when the aircraft carrier strategy can't reach its full potential, why did the US choose the B-2 Spirit, a stealth bomber with high strategic value? When talking about the battle in the Strait of Hormuz, you can't ignore the role of the B-2 Spirit in the US military strategy. Hormuz isn't just an important sea route, it's also where Iran's air defense and missile systems go head-to-head with US stealth tactics. The B-2, with its stealth features and precision strike tech, has changed how the US strategizes in the area. But there's one environmental factor that hardly anyone thinks about that can impact how effective the B-2 is in combat: air humidity. Iran keeps investing in advanced long-range air defense systems, including modern radars and surface-to-air missiles like the S-300, built to detect and take down bombers and missiles before they enter Iranian airspace. Still, the B-2 Spirit's advanced stealth tech lets it slip past these modern defenses. Although Iran's long-range radar can detect high-speed airborne targets, the B-2 can fly through their controlled areas without being detected, thanks to its ability to absorb and scatter radar waves. However, the B-2's stealth characteristics can be affected under certain weather conditions, especially high humidity, which can alter radar wave properties and impact the aircraft's stealth effectiveness. In high humidity environments, water molecules in the air can cause radar waves emitted by the B-2 to reflect and refract, increasing the chance of being detected. This happens because the water particles in the air can change the direction and intensity of radar waves, making it easier for enemy air defense systems to spot the B-2. So, one of the key factors affecting an aircraft's stealth is the humidity in the air, something that not everyone pays attention to. In wet weather conditions, radar waves are not absorbed and scattered as effectively as in dry air. This could give Iran's radar systems a chance to detect B-2 stealth aircraft, making precise strikes more difficult. While it's not a major threat, it's a factor that needs to be considered in combat strategy, especially in areas like the Strait of Hormuz, where humidity is frequently high due to the tropical climate. Despite this paradox, the B-2 Spirit is still equipped with advanced electronic systems to adapt to changing environmental factors. These planes can adjust their radar frequencies and sensor systems to minimize the impact of humidity. The B-2's electronic control system can change how it operates under tough weather conditions, ensuring its stealth capability and effective attack performance. However, these tactics require careful planning from military commanders. The US would choose the timing of an attack when weather conditions are favorable to optimize the effectiveness of the B-2. In fact, stealth aircraft can even be coordinated with other tools like AWACS warning planes or warships to support the attack process, helping minimize the impact of humidity and other environmental factors. Although humidity can slightly reduce the effectiveness of the B-2 Spirit in military strategies in the Strait of Hormuz, this doesn't change the aircraft's ability to launch precise long-range attacks. The combination of stealth, long-distance strike capability, and tactical flexibility has allowed the B-2 Spirit to maintain superiority in all combat conditions, even when humidity affects its efficiency. Iran, although it has developed advanced radar and missile systems, still can't fully cope with the B-2's stealth capabilities. So even when affected by humidity, the B-2 remains an important strategic weapon that helps the US maintain military dominance in the region. How exactly has the B-2 Spirit changed the course of the battle in Hormuz? Is stealth technology really enough to replace traditional combat methods? The clash in the Strait of Hormuz showed how stealth technology and military strategy play out in the 21st century. The B-2 Spirit got involved in an asymmetric warfare setting where stealth tech, hypersonic missiles, and cyber warfare became game changers. The takeaway is that developing stealth tech is a must, since aircraft carriers can't guarantee safety in dangerous places like Hormuz, where hypersonic missiles and Iran's air defenses are a real threat. The US forces had to tweak their strategy, using the B-2 Spirit to strike from afar without needing to get up close. This is a clear example of the trend of using stealth technology in modern warfare, showing that stealth aircraft like the B-2 Spirit have become key strategic tools in US military operations, boosting the effectiveness of air defense systems. The future of asymmetric warfare is being shaped by advancements in stealth tech, including hypersonic missiles and cyber warfare, which let planes strike from afar without being detected. But this tech also brings up a big question about the future of war. Will we keep seeing the rise of asymmetric warfare, or will there be a comeback of traditional combat tactics like naval battles or close-quarters infantry fighting? Museum technology will still be important in future wars, but whether it can maintain long-term military superiority is up in the air. The US needs to keep innovating and investing in tech research to stay ahead, especially with rivals like Iran upgrading their air defense and hypersonic missile systems. If new advanced platforms show up, imaging tech won't be the ultimate advantage anymore. Weapons like hypersonic missiles that can bypass current defenses will create a new kind of warfare where both strategy and speed matter. Will naval warfare just be a battle of modern tech, or will we see the comeback of classic tactics? Finally, after analyzing the role of the B-2 Spirit, the changes in US military strategy, and the lessons learned from the confrontation in Hormuz, we can clearly see one thing. Stealth technology, hypersonic missiles, and cyber warfare are not just factors that help maintain military superiority, but also decisive elements in future wars. However, can technology maintain long-term advantages when opponents constantly develop new technologies? Will we witness a return to classic tactics? These questions remain open and will depend on creativity and military strategy. And if this video has satisfied your thirst for weapon knowledge, give me some motivation with a like, a share, and especially subscribe to the channel with the notification bell so you don't miss the next intense air strategy breakdown videos. Thank you for joining Airpower Control. See you at the next hotspots.